It's Ask Lauren time. Question I get a lot from my students and I get on social media. In fact, today's video is an Ask Lauren, is how do you come up with so much content for social media? So the specific question in today's video is how do you source content ideas for social media? So if you're new to this channel, my name is Lauren Messiah. I am a stylist, author of the book Style Therapy, and founder of Style Boss Academy, the online business school for stylists. Yo, content is my BFF, okay? Me and content go together like peanut butter and jelly. So my whole entire business has come from organic traffic, has come from social media. Every cool opportunity that I've got has come from people discovering me on social media. Literally, like TV opportunities found me on YouTube. When I was on Netflix, they found me on YouTube. New York Times found me on YouTube. People find me on Instagram. It's just content, content, content. And in order to really be discovered or have clients discover you, is you have to put out a lot of content. How do you come up with these ideas? So I'm going to share a couple different tactics that I've used to generate content ideas. First being, I just freaking ask. I ask the audience what they want to know. That was how I started my YouTube channel. It was like, hey, what do y'all want me to do a video about? And y'all told me. When I was getting prepared to film these videos, I went on Instagram and I said, hey, I'm about to shoot some YouTube videos. Any topics y'all want me to cover? And boom, I get this question and here's a piece of content. Here's a video. Just freaking ask. But if you're like, oh my God, I don't have an audience. Like, who am I to ask? No one even watches my videos or follows me on Instagram. I don't know. Ask your mom, ask your sister, ask your friend. Like, ask, hey, I'm good at this thing. What would you ask me? What's your question? And create content like that. It goes such a long way. And if people are asking you, it means they trust you, they trust your opinion, or it means they looked for the answer before and they couldn't find it. So ask people what they want. The next thing that I would think about is, what do people need to know? So maybe they're not asking for it, but maybe it's something that you know they need to know. So let's say I did a video on like 10 trends to avoid in 2023. Maybe nobody asked me that question, but maybe I'm like, yo, I've been out in these streets, in these malls, in these stores, and I don't want to see nobody wearing these 10 things. So just start thinking like, what do people need to know, and generate ideas that way. And the last way that I would give you as an idea to start generating content ideas is to think about the people that you've already worked with. It's like, what topics keep coming up? What do you think about long after you've already worked with that client? Like, I have worked with, so many styling clients over the course of my career, and maybe we're done working together, but I might see them post a picture on Facebook and I'd be like, oh my gosh, if I were near them, I would definitely tell them, don't wear those socks with those shoes. That looks crazy. So it's like drawing on past experiences working and observing people you worked with. There's ideas everywhere. Literally, there's content ideas everywhere. So those are a couple ways to generate, but here's another tip that I'll just throw in for good measure. Bounce ideas off of other people. And this is why it's so helpful to be in environments where people are also creating content. They're also running businesses, whether this is through a coach, an online community, a program, a fellow, entrepreneur, style boss pal. Like, hey, let's have a content creation day. Let's have a brainstorm day. Let's sit down and think of things. One of my students who's been with me through all of my programs, she paid to have a VIP day with me. She's like, I just want to come and I want to work and just get stuff done in my business. And content was a real struggle. And just us sitting there having an organic conversation, I was like writing while we were kicking it. And I'm like, dude, we have like dozens of ideas here. Sometimes we don't recognize our own brilliance, where it's like, you just said some freaking gold. Like that was a quote, that was a topic, that was a this, and you don't know it because you're just in it. So start surrounding yourself by higher level people or coaches or mentors who can see things that you can't see. Because a lot of times we get used to our expert, right? It's like, you just think, well, duh, like everyone should know that. Everyone should know to set up their closet like this. Everyone should know, don't shop here, shop there. That's just common sense. But it's not. It's not, because they're not in your lane. They would never think of that stuff ever. So being around people that will be like, oh, you just said something genius, create around that, will make things so much easier for you. So I hope that answer was helpful. Let me know in the comments below if you found it helpful, or if you have any other ideas on how you generate content for your business. Drop it down below so we can help everybody who's watching out. And I'll give you this like last little piece of advice. Just create. The more you create, the better. Not every piece of content needs to be a home run, but we need to get into the habit of showing up regularly, putting ourselves out there, and you don't know who's watching. In fact, I was on Instagram last night, just tapping through stories, and someone had reposted that their friend or something like had a YouTube channel, and every video they posted, it was getting like less than 100 views. They'd been doing it for a long time. And turns out one of the 100 people that was watching was freaking Oprah. Oprah's people reached out, and like whatever opportunity came from that, obviously if Oprah reaches out, like your life has changed, you know? So it's just like, you never know. So don't get overly caught up in like, how many followers do I have? How many views do I have? When you're creating meaningful content that's coming from these inspired sources, as we just discussed, you just never know what can happen. So just keep creating, keep putting yourself out there, and I will see you in the next video.